window. All right. Either. Uh-oh.
I said I'm waiting in there, yeah. I guess I'm on your way, no way. I wanna change, baby, change as I'm going through. Listen you. Can you come back to me? That's what I'm gonna do. Why did you have to decide you had to set me free? I'm gonna swallow my brain. I'm gonna beg to please. Baby, please save me. What you see? I'm gonna walk by myself just to prove that my love is true. Oh, you baby, till you come back to me, that's what I'm gonna do.
Last part. You know, I could listen to that all night, right?
I know.
I'm like, oh, I guess we should get started. Good evening. Welcome back. We're back. Friday Night Live with Dr. Kim. Last week I was solo for Galentine's Day, right? Go do a review. You know, there's a quiz at the end. So Galentine's Day, I had calls afterward. Angela, can you believe that? I'm gonna introduce you in a minute. I had calls afterward. People were like, did you make that up? was that really a thing? I'm like, no, it's really a thing. And at the beginning, I talked about that, right? That it first became popular on this show called Parks and Rec, where this girl threw a Galentine's party for her friends to celebrate friendship, to celebrate. Yeah, you made here, Kim. It's good to see you. Good evening. Yeah, to celebrate friendship, celebrate sisterhood. And so it started out that way. And some people choose to do it to take the emphasis off of being single on Valentine's.
Right.
But whatever the case, it's a good thing to celebrate. And we had a really good time. We had a really good time. I had just a few ladies over, and I hate that you were able to miss, that you had to miss. But it was a nice little intimate group, and we celebrated sisterhood in a regal fashion and had a good time. So nice. Valentine's Day is a real thing. It is a real thing. So anyway, so we're here tonight to talk about stalker exes and other dating dilemmas that go on. And so come on in here. Please share the link, invite some people who need to hear this, as a lot of people need to hear this. So if you haven't been stalked, then you probably have been a stalker at some point, because it's a lot more common than you would think. So I was like, if you haven't been stalked, then you're the stalker, right? So we're going to talk about that. And I have my friend with me tonight, Angela Richards, good dear friend. Also, one of my favorite Mary Kay ladies, shameless plug. So find her, find her on Instagram as well as Facebook. She's serious about hers. Everybody not serious about it, but she's serious about hers. So Angela, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get into the stalker exes.
Okay. Angela, I met Kim a few years ago through another ladies group that we have just bonded through that and gotten close. And
I'm just a single lady out here trying to migrate to go through this dating world, and it's rough.
Out here in these
It's rough.
dating streets, as my
It's
one
I
of
mean
my favorite people, the Terrace Whitfield, calls out here in these dating streets. It is serious.
just out here thugging it in these dating streets. That's it.
Thugging and loving
Thugging it.
thugging and loving. So we just trying to make sense out of it all. I understand. And so, you know, I got a list of topics that I'm going to talk about. I almost said this semester. This season, you know, the teacher life never leaves you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of moved this one up on the rotation. I think I had this on there around summer. And it was something that you were drawn to. And also, there's been so much in the news lately about exes coming out the blue, not only stalking people, but taking people out. There are people losing their lives, their lives. And so it's just not just freaky and frightening, it's fatal. And so we want to make sure that we talk about not just sharing some stories, but also some red flags to look out for. So hopefully you don't become a statistic and you figure it out early enough so you can move on and get on with being unscathed. So we're gonna dive in. So thank you, Angela, for joining me tonight.
You're welcome.
And again, you are like and share, please, and invite some people into this conversation as we talk about stalker exes. Stalker exes. So she has an interesting story. I'm gonna set it up for a little bit. And that not only did she have at one point an ex that was stalking her, but a partner whose ex was stalking them, right?
Yeah.
Or stalking or right. So this, I thought it was so interesting, the stalking from two different perspectives, as the stalkee and then as the partner of a stalkee. So we're going to get into that. Please talk to me in the chat if you know about these stalkers, okay? So we can share stories tonight, and then we're going to look at the red flags. So go ahead, tell the people what you need to tell them about these stalkers.
Okay, so my headline was saying I never stalked. I'm too lazy for
you said you were never a stalker.
I've never stalked. I'm too lazy.
Even now, wait a minute. Now hold on. Even like Aretha explained it in the song, and I chose that song for a reason. Number one, because I love the Queen. All hail the Queen. We miss you, Ree. But the way she describes it, because my kids have called quite a few of her songs stalker songs. That's why I thought today, like, is she for real? Call me the moment you get there, you know, until you come back to me. Ain't no way for me to love you. Because I mean, they were like, sis didn't know when to give up. Okay. So that's why I chose those songs. But think about how she describes it. I'm gonna rap on your door. I'm gonna tap on your window pane. So you've never done that where you're just, even if you don't go up to his house, I'm gonna scroll past your Facebook page and I'm gonna just like something. And see if you see me liking it, then see if you'll call or text me. I'm gonna just happen to go past some place that you just I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I'm just gonna see if you're there, see if you see me. You've never done anything like that?
No, I'm not. No.
You never asked a friend about somebody that, hey, you seen so and so? Is he on?
But the thing is, no, I haven't. But
wow, you're good.
Now, have I wanted to know stuff? Yes, I have. But it's like I just keep myself to myself. And I have a lot of friends that may know about my exes, and they will randomly just volunteer.
And they'll tell you, okay.
And I'll stop them. I'm like, hold up, I don't want to know. You know, I don't want to know. I'm not. Don't pull me back into. I'm good. I'm okay.
Okay.
And so no, I choose not to. I choose to just go through my pain process of releasing the relationship, however long it may be, as much as I want to call. As much as I want to be seen, I said, no, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to distract myself with hanging out with girlfriends.
Okay. So you figured, okay, so I stand corrected. 99% If you haven't been stalked, you were a stalker except for Angela Richards. Okay. All right. Go ahead with your stalking story.
Okay, so my stalker story. Okay, so I was dating a guy. And we were dating for a few years. And when we broke up because it was infidelity. I wouldn't have it.
Okay.
So even though we broke up for that reason, and it's not like total caught, just there's no way you could pretend that it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
The girl called me after I see him with the girl. So from his phone, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So she did a little stalking too. She pretended to be him, but I would call
Figured
him.
out who you were. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. And then but then he would still come back to me. He would come, oh, we should be together. I'm like, no, you already made a choice. He was and I'm not sure how to call. He was cloning my phone. That's what it's called. He was cloning my phone in order to call me mostly from my phone. And instead of, because I had him blocked, I am queen block. I will block and delete in a heartbeat.
Quickly.
Quickly. So he would call me, use my contact, clone my phone, get on my phone, and then let's say my phone ring, it'll say Kim. I'm like, oh, that's Kim. Let me talk to my girl. Hey, Kim. Oh, what are you doing on my phone?
Oh.
And it's him. But he was good at computers, so he was able to do that.
Okay. Whoa.
And so, right. And so, of course, if he could clone my phone, of course, he could see the contact. So now we broke up, we moved on, because, of course, he has other women. So I'm like, okay, I'm moving on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
As I started to talk to guys on the phone, I've got 2 or 3 guys that called me at different times and said, hey, your ex called me. Why is your ex calling me? Why one guy even said, why would you give your ex my number? And I'm like, why would I do that? That's when I really found out.
I never would.
Right. I would not do that. I don't even talk to this man anymore. So why would I even do that? That's weird. And so, and then before that, I was wondering why I was talking to guys. The vibe was going well, the conversation was going well. And this is before the 2020s, when it just happens. People just ghost you anyway. Back. This was back when. And people just disappear. I'm like, why did you stop talking to me? That's weird. Everything was going well. Come to find out, he's calling random guys that I'm talking to let them, I'm not sure how the conversation went, but it honestly, I can get their point of view, because the conversation don't even have to be weird. All he got to really say is hi. And they be like, wait a minute, why is your ex calling me? That's already weird.
Wow.
So that's how that went. And so I had and he was in a job of some type of authority. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And
okay.
So
how did you get it to stop? How did you resolve that?
Well, resolve that, I had to face it head on. I couldn't cower from it. I called him. I said, listen, you need to stop doing this. And then even when he didn't stop, I called his mother, told his mother, I said, listen, tell your son I said, stop doing this. And when he didn't listen to that way, I said, listen, if you call one more person, if you do one more thing, I'm going to call your job and let them know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
I have zero problem. I will show up. I will pull up. He knows I will pull up.
Same.
And let them know, hey, this is what's going on.
You weren't scared? You weren't scared to do that?
I was more irritated and angry.
Wow.
Because I didn't like the fact of not knowing what's going on. And it was another big piece with that. One time, and all these things are after we broke up. And then I'm going to get back to while we were together, the little signs I missed.
Okay.
Another thing that when we broke up, he was calling me, we just chit-chatting, and he's like, oh, why did you turn off when you went to work? I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh God.
I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you got to the light right before your job and you turned off. It's an apartment complex. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I had to think back. And it was a big accident in that intersection. So the police were turning people off to go around. So, and I had to go all the way around my job to go back over there. And he's like, why would you even know that?
Like,
Exactly. So that was like, I like personal space. I give everybody personal space, and you're violating my personal space. And so that I think I was more, no, I know I was more irritated and angry than anything, because number one, the major thing is we're not together
anymore. It's over.
anymore. You have other people, I'm okay. And secondly, when we were together, I never gave you a reason not to trust me. So even if like, what is up with that? And if you really wanted me, you would have done the things to keep me in the first place.
Thank you.
And that's it.
So somebody in the chat, listen to this, because I said, she said she was being stalked by a boyfriend that left. She left her house and went to her sister's house. He put lighter fluid outside of her door.
Oh, goodness.
Thank God he didn't take it further. God spared us. Didn't he though? That's what I'm telling you. This is why we're talking about this tonight, because you don't realize what somebody's capacity is and how far they'll take it. You don't know how far out of their mentality that they've gone, that they will go to the nth degree to get revenge, to win. In some cases, you'll hear some of them say, I just wanted to get your attention. You wouldn't talk to me. So I had to do this so you would talk to me. Now, why would I want to talk to you after you have either threatened or almost caused bodily harm to me? And in this case, almost her family. She said, yo, God spared her sister, herself, and her children. And we thank God for that, right?
Yes.
For protection. But in this case, like I said, you just don't know. I think you were very brave to call him. I'm not necessarily saying, so anybody watching this, I'm not necessarily recommending that.
Right.
Because you need to know your person. But sometimes that's just enough. Some of them will go on because you've actually been definitive, you've brought closure, you've told them where you are. Some of them is just enough to say, you know what, she still loves me too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have called. She cares. If she didn't care. So that becomes even more motivation for them to continue the stalking. So it depends. Now, what you mentioned reminds me of the one stalker that I had, and then I want you to tell me about how the exes stalk before we get into the red flags. So it was the same kind of call, and this was a long distance relationship in college. So we dated in high school, and so we were still dating in college. I stayed in Chicago, and he went away. And so he had called a couple of times. Now this is dating me. I'm subsequently a lot older than Angela, so she probably won't know anything about this. But there was a time when we could only call or talk talk long distance on the weekends or at certain hours where it didn't cost as much. So Sunday night was pretty much our time to talk, and I think it was a few hours on Saturday. And so at a certain point, we had run up the phone bill so much. That's when it was still Illinois bill before it was American. And I'm working at the mall, and at least 2 of my whole checks went to the phone bill for our house, because we would get on the phone, and if I didn't pick up and I called him later, he'd accuse me of being out with people. I'm like, I was at the library. I was at work. I was closed. I had to close that night, and we had to count the drawers. So I was there later. And it's like, yeah, you always got excuses why you can't talk to me. So then, of course, we're writing letters too. So we're trying to resolve it. I'm like, well, let me write him a letter because I can't keep running up this phone bill. And then there was an issue about that. Oh, so now you can't talk to me because you're running up the phone bill. Fine, I'll send you some money for the phone bill. Now, how are you sending me money for the phone bill when you're struggling to stay in school? My parents were actually sending money to help him because his mother had passed and et cetera. So how are you going to send me money for a phone bill. And they sending you money. Make sure you got books. Anywho, so he gave me a call, the one that you're talking about. And he started talking about what I was wearing and what I was eating in the mall. And I'm like,
whoa,
you're in the South. I won't say what state, but
right.
it was far away. You should have known what I was eating in the mall. And the next day it was the same thing, a similar message. And so now I'm like, you know, you walk around looking over your shoulder. So the third day when I left out, he was actually outside. He was actually outside my job. And I was working in the plaza. If anybody's familiar with the plaza, you're not a South Sider, so I don't think you know about Evergreen Plaza. But anybody who you know about the plaza, so but anybody who lived on the South Side of Chicago, you know the plaza was the hub. That's where we did everything. And so I left out and he was out there.
Wow.
And I'm gonna take you home. Ooh. So he did. I went on because I was like scared not to. And then of course, this is my guy, right? So we hadn't broken up. So why not do it? But then I get home and like I said, and they started just talking weird. And I was like, you gotta go. You gotta go. So I broke up with him that day. And then he kept coming around the house, like I said, hovering and that kind of thing. And so it got out of hand. It got totally out of hand. He finally went on the way. And we're Facebook friends today. but that was like, what, 40 years? Maybe almost 40 years ago. Okay, going to the chat, she left him because he was, oh Lord, he was beating you. And he tried to keep you from your mother also. Yep, that's always. And so, oh my God.
Isolate you.
Yep, that isolation. That isolation is definitely a sign. So tell us about the stalking, how your boyfriend got stalked by his ex.
So, and he was a weird egg, but
you said to begin with. Oh Lord.
Okay, so we were I was living with him for a little while, and he, well, you know, he would tell, you know, as people do in the beginning of relationships, they tell about their past a little bit, you know. So we talked about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Then all of a sudden, this is how it's like everything came like a avalanche, basically. His messenger, he was sleeping. I mean, I was sleeping. He wasn't there. I was sleeping. His messenger was going off back to back to back. I'm like, what is going on? What is really going on? I'm thinking it's an emergency, you know. I look and it's this, his ex is calling. And of course he's not answering it because it's on his other device, because it's just ringing. I could tell. And she's calling back to back. So I talked to him. I'm like, what's going on? I said, I don't know what's going on with her, but you know, sometimes she drinks in the middle of the night. And she has these like manic moments in the middle of the night. And so she'll, you know, she did that when we, because I remember him telling me when they were together, she would do the same thing. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'll just let you know about it. So I'm not gonna tell you what to do about it, but you know what to do about it. You know, we need to stop that. So I let that go. A little bit later, I want to say a few weeks later, about a week later, I see messages from her too, just popping up saying that she's rolling around the house. She's describing me. She's describing my dog. I'm like, okay. She's describing the furniture, the furniture on the balcony, on the porch, because I chose all that, so it wasn't there before.
Oh, so I smell a woman.
Yeah, she was like, that was supposed to be me. And then she even like said, that must be old girl with the type of car I have, and just everything. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, you could tell it was like kind of a weird, she was trying to put me down at the same time, I guess. He said, I can't believe, is that what you like? A girl with big boobs, a big butt? Is that your type? Is that what's going on? I'm like, okay. And then another day I was walking the dog, and the car he described me her car, just kind of like could take a curve around real quick. And we lived in a subdivision that if you didn't belong over there, you didn't come over there.
Right. And you also didn't know your way, your way out, right?
Exactly. And it's not like a cul-de-sac subdivision. It's an actual subdivision. So it was like you had to turn some corners and you got to get up in there. And the car she had was a newer car and an awkward color. So it's not a lot of them on the street. So I'm pretty sure it was her.
Easily identifiable.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, listen, she's coming around, da da da. And then I go out of town a couple weeks later. And I come to find out they went to lunch together because he said he wanted to talk to her about what she was doing and she needs to stop and all this other stuff. Yeah. Okay. No, the night I came back into town, she video chats him again. I'm like,
but hold on, flag on the play. But remember what I was saying a minute ago in his defense. Now, like I said, this is a cliffhanger. I don't know how it turned out. But I'm telling you, sometimes you're trying to be logical with illogical behavior. It's like, look, let me just talk this person down. Let me let them know, look, hey, it's over with us. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you, but we're done. I've moved on. I wish you happiness. So again, trying to bring some closure, trying to be a decent individual. But if somebody's already snapped and that switch has gone off in their head, I'm telling you, they take it as motivation. You still love me. I still got what I wanted, which was that connection. Now I got a face-to-face audience with you after acting a fool. So what am I going to do? Act a bigger fool.
Act a bigger fool.
So flag on the play for those of you who are listening. You think you can talk a nut down? You cannot talk a nut down. You cannot. It's not possible. You cannot use logic with somebody. In fact, Lord, let me find it today. I was in a meeting today. We were talking about children's behaviors, but it's still, stands. I mean, the truth is the truth about adult behavior. Yes. If somebody is already on the ledge, you can't relate and negotiate with somebody who's already manic. You can't negotiate with somebody, again, the switch is already flipped off. The best thing you can do is de-escalate the situation, cease and desist, move away. If anything, if you're going to address the problem, say what you're going to do, and then close the door. Close the door. You have to. You can't talk a nut down. I'm trying to tell you. I wish I could say it better, Rebecca, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't. If somebody's already on 10 and you're trying to bring them down to 2, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Okay, especially when you got the emotions of love and lust and attraction involved. That's even harder. That's even harder. So he tried to talk to her. They video chat again. Tell us that, and then we're gonna go into these red flags.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And well, he tells me, he's like, well, we're just trying to be. I want to be friends. I said, oh, okay.
Oh no, he gave it a friend thing. Did you all gonna be friends, or he was gonna be friends with her?
No, him and her were gonna be friends. So I said, okay, sure, no problem. And so that was the end of that.
So what did you all end up doing?
I ended up removing myself from the situation. I moved and I left, and we were done. Because it never got any better from there. It was just more and more defense, because he was flattered by the attention.
Same. Oh yeah.
He was flattered by the attention instead of realizing. I'm like, listen, this is not cool, because okay, I am the queen of Lifetime movies now.
Oh no, not the Lifetime.
I love Lifetime movies. So I'm like, listen, anybody made up all these stories about the stalkers stalking families and exes and killing them and everything else without this actually happening in real life. Well, he just thought it was cute. So since he didn't think it was cute, since he just thought it was cute, I felt unprotected. So therefore, I had to remove myself.
And that was a smart move, because if you kept on, I'm telling you what would have happened. What happens in the Lifetime movies? The girlfriend ended up tied up in the basement somewhere. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't end up pretty.
It never ends.
Somebody's gonna end up in jail. And I always said, you know what? it could be me. I'm orange is not my color. Okay, so I don't need to have on one of those jumpsuits. But
No.
but it's about somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt. And I was like, it doesn't need to be me. Because again, I tell, my mom always taught me, hey mom, in case you accidentally pull this up on YouTube. She would always say, you need to know what you're going to do before a situation happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you need to have a pretty good idea of what your boundaries are, what your capabilities are. But I also posit that most of the time people don't know what they will do if they're put in a certain situation. You don't know it's just like the one time, oh gosh, okay, this was my stalking episode, right? Then we go to the red flags. Where's West Side Beverly? If she's watching this, she know what I'm talking about. But this was when I was my ex-husband, when I found out he was cheating on me. I gotta find out. I wasn't gonna do anything. I just wanted to see, who is this breaking up my home? I need to know. Mm-hmm. She gotta be gorgeous. She must have a better home. It's gotta be something. Why would you give up all of this, right? And the beautiful family we created. So I get my girl to roll up there with me. Now here it is. I'm a whole professor. Okay. This girl's an administrator. I won't say what kind because I don't want to put her on blast. But we go in her car because we know this woman might know my car. Mm-hmm. We go in her car and we pulled up and I jumped out. And so now my girl is like, oh, no. Like, that ain't what you said you would go through. You just said you wanted to see where she lived. Well, yeah, we there. Now I got to get out. I got to look at the place. It was an apartment. So then I'm pissed. Chick in an apartment and stole my, we living in a house. We have a beautiful house out here in the burbs, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. We live in. She up in an apartment. Really? It was a nice neighborhood, though. I will have to admit that. But I get out the truck, left my phone in her truck. So now she can't call me. And she was like, your little short ass that took off. I can't see you behind the, around these bushes. She's like, oh my, now she's in a panic because what she was fast forwarding is, what happens if this woman comes out? Mm-hmm. So is she going to snap on Kim? Because she does know who I am. Or just the fact that you a stranger rolling up on me and retaliates or defends herself because she feels at risk, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. Or do I snap off when I realize who this person is? Mm-hmm. You don't know. You start rolling those tapes through your head. And at that point, 15 years of marriage, I got these 3 children. You're leaving me. You've rejected me. And then looking at this person and you're thinking about, and all these emotions well up in you. And that's what she was afraid of. I don't know what my friend will do. Yeah. At the point of this contact. So the best thing you can do, and I didn't, thank God the woman wasn't there because I did ring the bell. She didn't answer. So I guess she was at work. She didn't answer. And so, yeah, that's stalking Lewis. What's up, Lewis Taylor? Yes. Hey, Casanova. See, the guys are in here now. It's about to really get good. What's up, Lewis? What's up, Casanova? I owe you a phone call, too. Oh, my God, Lewis. There's so much that's happened in the past 2 weeks. Those who are following know. I think I told Angela, I fell a couple weeks ago, still suffering from a concussion. So I'm not 100%. So if you see me looking a little tired, I am. I'm not sleeping well. But I keeps it moving. Yeah, I did some stalking. That's how you get got. Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. That was not a good move. That's why I'm talking about this tonight. People glorify this, right? They glorify stalking. Yeah. And it's somewhat, again, like Angela just said, you'll have some people that really think that's flattering. And I'm saying it's not flattering. That could be fatal. You better learn to walk away, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. It is not worth your life. That would not have been worth my life. My children could have been motherless because I want to see what a heifer looked like who my husband was cheating on me with. I can't say took him because can't nobody get taken. Mm-hmm. Right? You just
That's true.
decide you want to get got. So, oh, she said this is giving her flashbacks of acrimony.
Oh my goodness, that
Thank
movie.
you, Louis. I appreciate that. She said y'all gave me flashbacks to the movie Acrimony, where Taraji P. Henson cracked in her downward descent. She said what the other woman had was supposed to be her wedding gown, her house, her man. That's how I felt. Listen, I'm still up there 15, almost 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
We built a life. That was a third of my life. And now, and eventually she did. She moved into the house that we lived in, that I picked out. That was a movie, and like that was my dream house. There was nothing to do in that house but to furnish it. And now your side chick is not a head chick. She done moved into my house. You upgraded her car. I'm driving a 10, 15-year-old Buick. Okay, to try to keep my expenses down. You done upgraded her, used Jaguar to a Benz. Okay. You done upgraded your 3 Series to a 7 Series. Okay. And I'm managing 3 kids in a little itty bitty apartment in Hyde Park in a used Buick. Really? That'll make you snap.
Yeah.
If you get to thinking about it. But the focus, stalkers are always focusing on the wrong thing.
Mm.
Always focusing on the wrong thing. I know. So I'm just saying, if you sit and dwell on these things, and that's what this woman was doing to your ex, and he fell for it. You know, they put the guilt.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was like, we were supposed to pick out furniture. We were supposed to do this. We were supposed to do that.
And it's a no win. It's a no win. That person is, if they're gone, they're gone. And I put it to you like this. I'll say this because I do believe in reunions. I have seen, in fact, and I talk about him all the time on Laterris Whitfield, Dear Future Wifey. I love that podcast. And he has a couple on there now who remarry. Mm-hmm. So it can happen, but typically it has to happen in its own time. And there's usually a lapse of time in between where people have gone to their neutral corners and they work that out. You all these wows. As soon as I finish my book, I'm on chapter 4. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with my book. You all will read all of this in my book. Okay. Suddenly Single. That's the title. So as soon as you see that hit, you're going to know you better hit Amazon. Okay. It's a good one. It's some juice. I don't tell y'all no more because I want y'all to get the book. But honestly, you just don't know. You don't know your limitations. And so people sometimes after time and they've had a chance to look at the situation. And like we said at the very beginning of this broadcast, when you get out in these dating streets and you see how crazy it is, and it's like, dang, so he just left his drawers on the floor. It's really not that bad. I can just pick up the drawers. Or like in our case, and I'll tell my truth here. I spent a lot of money. That bothered him. That I was an overspender. Mm-hmm. And so I would say I had a lot of manic behaviors. I overate, I overspent. I had problem with boundaries. Those things could be fixed. He didn't want to fix them. He went and found somebody else who spent way more than I did. Okay. On other things. Bless their hearts. If they're watching. But but you spend some time out here, people figure out, wow, they really were a good person. They just had some annoying behaviors and they end up back together. So it can happen. But I've never seen it happen in a stalker situation. You cannot force somebody back in where they don't want to be. Can't put a square peg in a round hole. Is it a round peg in a square hole? Whatever.
A square peg in a round hole. Yeah.
Then I talked about that a few weeks ago. If it don't fit, don't force it.
Don't force it.
If it doesn't fit, don't force it. So sometimes, like I said, people can get back together. Is he still with her? No. So interestingly enough, that you should ask, should I give that away or should I make him buy the book? I'll just say they're not together anymore. I won't say anything else because I might say more about it there. I'm gonna need a big bottle of wine when I get. No, since you're gonna need more than some wine, you need some tequila, some vodka to read what I got in there. By the way, and I didn't tell you all what I was drinking tonight. Tonight is a sangria night. I'm taking it a little bit light. Yeah, you need something stronger than that. Okay, get that Don Julio because it's some rough ones in there. I've been reading it, to be honest with you. Just side note, it's been really hard editing, and that's what I'm struggling with because I was supposed to have done my pre-sales on Dr. King's birthday. Get it, Dr. King, Dr. King.
Oh,
I know, wouldn't that have been cute?
that's cute.
I couldn't pull it off because going back and reading and editing, I'm reliving a lot of that. And it's super hard. It's super hard. It's very empowering because I look at me now. Look at me now. You know, like I've come through a lot. I'm not that same person. Like I said, you won't see me doing the OJ, and we laugh because she had a white, it wasn't a Bronco, but it was a Yukon. But we called that the OJ run, right? That white truck. Yeah.
Right.
I would never do that.
Airport.
Yep, I would never do that today. But I'm quick to let you go now. Okay. You only have to hit the last nerve. You scrape that first nerve. I don't let it get that far now. You understand? Yeah. But at the time, a Long Island iced tea, that's a good they're trying to figure out what they're gonna drink. Southern Comfort, that's a good choice. So you want to go dark. Okay, you want to go dark, go ahead, get that Hennessy in there and everything. But time, space, you learn. And you learn yourself. And so now I wouldn't even put myself in that position. So let's talk about these red flags. How do you know? You can identify a stalker before they start stalking you. They tell you. They tell on themselves. They show you who they are if you're paying attention. So if you're taking notes, Uncle Nearest, y'all these some drinkers.
I ain't never heard of that one ever.
They're really, that's whiskey, I think. They're really in here. He got the glass on it and everything. They're really trying to figure out what they're going to drink to read this book. I'm done. Okay? I am done. I'm not mad at you. You will need it. Trust me. So red flags, they will tell you. I'm going to start with the first one and I want you to jump in. The first one that people tend to, especially women, tend to think is so endearing and flattering when a man does this. It's popping up unannounced. Popping up without warning. Oh, he surprised me. Oh, he couldn't wait till we saw each other tonight. Oh yeah, he just popped up. Yeah, he just came by my job and you know what I'm saying, he was checking on me, he was thinking about me, he was in the neighborhood.
But popping up in places that's not like, so your job, you there set time, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Okay. Church, you there on Sunday. Okay. Popping up at random places, that's just like that's weird.
That's another level, but still all of it's bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all of it bad. All of it's
bad because what's the root of it? And that's the other thing we talked about in our workshop today. Every behavior, there's a root cause. Okay, there's a root cause. And so for all of these, when we get to the end, you tell me what the root of all of this is. But you trying to pop up on me.
Yeah.
Trying to catch me in something. You're also trying to get control and keep you on your toes because you don't never know. Look, I remember my mother doing that to me when I was in school. Okay, you better not, because you don't never know.
You'll never.
Now you got a grown man doing this. Oh, look. And guess what? And she did roll up on me one day and I almost got busted. For real. That's what you call a prayer. Like my mother, a praying woman. She would pray, Lord, please protect my child from myself. Or just send people right in our way so she won't get in trouble. So that girl, can I tell that story real quick? And is that being a stalker, or is that just being a mother?
That's just being a mother.
She might not even know this. Oh Lord, I hope she don't watch this episode. But look, we had to come straight home. Okay. I really didn't do a lot of extracurricular activities. So my first year of high school, I went to Academy of Our Lady. So hey, Longwood ladies, all girls, high school. So now you know why they sent me there.
No boys.
All right, and they already saw the boy craziness coming up. This one, we need to keep her together. So come straight home. So the school was on the west end of 95th Street. I know it is just being a parent. I'm just being funny, bless her heart. And if she wasn't that way, can you imagine? I probably had 5 kids by the time I was 21, no telling. So she did right. Anyway, so my school was on one end of 95th Street, and her job, the school she was at, was on like the other end, on East End. So I'm like, ain't no way in the world she coming over, she coming over here. So the tradition is to, hey, Dr. Liz, baby, you're never too late, you're right on time. So watch this. So Liz, so the tradition, if anybody, where's my Chicago people at? So the tradition with at Longwood was on Friday, all the guys from the all boys schools would come and they would line up across the street from our exit. And I'm telling you, it was just like a beauty pageant. Oh my God. I mean, everything that was anything. Mendel was highly represented. Let's hear it for the Mendel Monarchs, Blue Smoke. I mean, the Mendel Monarchs out there just looking glorious in their blue Letterman jackets. Hales Franciscan. Oh my God. Okay. And I mean, cream of the crop. Okay. So I decided I was going to stunt this next Friday, and my friends had somebody for me to meet. So you had to, you had to wear your uniform. I knew I had to wear my uniform, but I'm like, okay, I'm roll my skirt up, make it a little bit short, and I had my ski jacket and, have my leg warmers. This was the 80s, y'all. So I had my leg warmers. I'm be cute. And I come out here and I'm gonna just stand out there and see if he could tell which one I am. So we had talked on the phone a couple of times because, by 3-way, because I couldn't have any boys calling me.
Yeah.
Because I was younger than everybody else. I was 13. So I was 12 when I started high school. So this was like second half of the year. So I had turned 13. So, so anyway, make the long story short, I get outside, I connect eyes with him, and I was like, oh, he just as cute as his picture was. Oh my God. And he sees me and he's waving. I'm about to cross the street, and out the corner of my eye, I see my mother. I could have died. Can I just roll myself up in a ball inside my jacket? And so, of course, I got to run to my mama. So he's looking like, where are you going? And I got in the car. Oh, I just thought you were going to go to the mall to get some ice cream. Sure. You look like you're tired. I'm okay. Died. But anyway, stalkers. Okay, so showing up unannounced where you are. That's not good. If somebody does that to you, that's a red flag. That's not a surprise. Nip it in the bud. Babe, I love that you were missing me. I really need you to give me a call where you come, okay? Because I might not have been here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then look for the response. If they snap back on you, that's a stalker. You can take that to the bank. You heard it here from Dr. Kim. This is Friday Night Live, by the way. For those of you who are just coming in, make sure you share this link and invite some people. And for those of you who are new and just joining us for the first time, welcome. Glad to see you in the chat. Glad to see you in the chat. Invite some friends. Pour yourself, drink a choice. Tonight is sangria for me. So I hope you have some. I think Angela has tea over there with her. And the people in the chat, they drinking all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to just leave it out. Okay. Over communication. Let's talk about that. That's a red flag. Over communication. That there's consistent communication and then there's over communication.
Yeah.
And part of that, one indication of over communication is when you get that double text. You must be busy. I ain't heard back from you. Whoa. And you can tell the tone. It's not, babe, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because maybe there's a certain pattern to our communication where, okay, at certain times of day that we're conversational as we text or chat in Messenger or whatever. And So on this particular day, maybe your response is a little lagging. Most grown people understand that you're living your life, and they're not going to take it as rejection,
Right.
good cause, right? So any of us might say, any normal person might say, hey, is everything okay? Especially if you ask a question, right? And they typically respond, oh no, baby, I'm just running around. I will answer you. I'll respond as soon as I can. Okay. But somebody say, oh, so you just ain't gonna answer me, huh? Red flag. Red flag. That's not a good response. It's like, oh, he's so sensitive. Oh, you know what? His last girlfriend, she was. Look, give him the card. Where's my card? Have him to call me. Dr. Kim got some appointments open for this week. He needs to be on the couch and talk about his mama issues and daddy issues. That's not a normal response. That's a very volatile response. That's a red flag. Boo, run. Who's talking to me? Hey, Dr. Heather. What's up, Doc Sexy? Doc Sexy in the house. Doc Liz in the house. We got the heavy hitters out tonight. I love it. Welcome, y'all. What did Rebecca say? She said she was being a parent. Yeah, my mom. She did. She got a revelation. Honey, the Holy Ghost told her to go west on 95th Street. She called a girl. Okay. She called a girl. She don't listen. She knows she was, yeah, she did right. She did right. I rolled up on Lindsay one time. She know about it. Hey, Lindsay. All the way to Norfolk. She know about it. I rolled up on Lindsay too. When the Holy Ghost tell you to turn left,
you turn left.
You better go. You better go. All right. So popping up without warning, over communication. I don't remember why we said that one. Gifts.
Which one?
Hiding gifts.
Oh, I know why we said that.
Okay, talk about that one.
Cause like he would hide gifts in my closet in my apartment. Like and it was like I think he just had my key because he was I forgot why he had my key, but he wasn't living with me at all. So in my closet, he wasn't living with me. He had like all these balloons and flowers and bears and stuff in my closet. And then one time, and I think the second thing that he had, I was telling you about, it was kind of like a company. He compounded it, but said, "Oh, we working on a project," and then he was like, "Oh, I hid the money under the oven mitts in the kitchen just in case I don't come, just in case I don't see you tonight, just in case I don't make it home tonight." I'm like, oh, okay.
In case
that was weird. But
tonight.
I guess he was Jaheim. I don't know. Like,
Lord. Okay, you know, and wait a minute, and Doc Sexy, you know I was cute wearing my little ski jacket, girl. And I had my little flip. Remember the flips we used to wear? And I had my flip was all feathered and perfect. I was ready. You understand? Never found him again either. I've been looking for him on Facebook and everything. I wanted to see if he still had his hair because he had perfect hair.
No, your mom stopped that. She said no.
Beautiful hair, just the most lovely smile. Don't take me back to 95th. Just don't take me back to 95th. Oh gosh. Hiding gifts. I never heard a story like that before, so I had to add it to the list. So again, these surprises is all about these surprises, right?
And had money in my car too.
He put that in your car?
He put money in my car. In my armrest.
That's real life.
Mm-hmm.
So what? To see if it was still there?
No, just to give me money for stuff. I'm like, why wouldn't you just
put it in my hand?
Put it in my hand.
Right. Put it in my purse.
Exactly.
Your coat pocket or something. I've never heard of anything like that at all. Yeah, that's what I had that a lot of in case he didn't make it home. Yeah, because that's the one he was in law enforcement.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, that's that you'll make you scared.
Exactly. And used to say things like, "Oh, if you get I have to do this overnight thing tonight, so I gave them your name and address just in case something happens to me. If you get a knock on your door."
Oh,
I'm like, first of all.
But some of that too is manipulation, right? Because you wife.
It is.
Right? So see, he
It was,
really does
yeah, I'm
love
like,
me. He made me next to kin. He put me on his emergency. So he a little crazy, but he's committed. He needs to
yeah,
be
but I
committed.
told him, I said, don't do that. Tell them to your mama. No.
Okay.
I don't need no
Oh
phone call.
my God.
Because now I got to call your mama. No, thank you.
What about the illusions of freedom? We talked about that. Oh, girl, you can do anything you want to do. You can go. You can go with your friends. You can go.
Yeah.
I don't care. But then they're calling you every 12 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Having a good time. You still coming home or are you coming home?
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
Yeah,
sign.
what time you coming home? Because I just
Bad
want to
sign.
meet you at home. I just want to meet you there. That's all. That's the reason why I want to know. Because I just want to meet you there. Or when they know you're going out with somebody that they know, so that they can check on you through somebody else.
Yep. Oh God, I definitely had that happen. I'm sitting there. Now this happened to a friend of mine, and this was a guy. So that's what I'm saying. So for the guys who were here, women are just as bad at this as men are. Okay. So it was a bunch of us, in fact, ministers, right? And so we're sitting around, we're doing some strategizing and some brainstorming, and the girl was texting the guy that was with us. He was the only guy in the group.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hearing his phone go off. You gonna answer that? Nope. Like, okay. Who is that? You know who it is. Oh wow. So guess what? After 3 times he didn't answer, girl across the table, she texted her. Wow. So hey, how's the meeting going? Y'all are still meeting, right? She didn't answer. So then it came to me. And they were at my house. So it's like, because he wasn't answering.
Because it was one male with a bunch of women. So
it didn't matter where he was. She did the same thing when he was with other guys and fatal attraction. Listen, okay. Yo, she said, it's a whole series now. It's a real thing. Yeah, it's serious business. So they do the call arounds. But if you talk to her, oh yeah, I know he has a lot of responsibility. He don't, I don't mind Beck do whatever it is he wants to do. Yeah, with you stalking him. So when they broke up, you know what happened, right? She was doing that while they were together.
Yeah,
it was not good. It was not good at all. But interestingly enough, guess what? They ended up together.
She wouldn't have it no other way.
And they're still together.
Cause he don't even know.
You just never know. And I couldn't call that one. I didn't see that would happen. I was like, ain't no way. Yup. She waited him out. They broke up. And then she just she let it go for a little while. And she saw he ain't hooking up with anybody else. Cause he ain't gonna never love nobody like you. Came in for the kill, got her man. Wait a minute, maybe I need to think of that. She got her man. I'm still sitting here on a Friday night talking to you. But anyway, so a lot of
relationship advice from a stalker.
Not trackers on the phone. That's very creepy, isn't it? Trackers on the phone.
Extremely.
Testing, giving you tests. Did you have any instance like that where they'll test you, you'll find out they did something just to see what you were gonna do? So like, see it like fake being hurt or needing you to do something. They were in distress and they're like, oh baby, it's all good. I just wanted to see what you were gonna do. Really? You got me scared to death, got me running. I'm thinking you about to go to urgent care or that they're about to put you out. I mean, some extenuating circumstances to see how quickly you'll respond. So they give you tests. You didn't
I don't recall any of that stuff.
That's a red flag. That's a red flag. And so how people will usually explain that away is they have trust issues. They had a lot of people that let them down in their life. And hey, who hasn't been hurt? Who hasn't been lied to? Who hasn't, you might not have been cheated on, but everybody's been lied to or taken advantage of, etc. But you have a conversation. Use your words. Okay. But setting you up, giving you tests to see if you'll pass them, it's a red flag. Testing how much you love them, even asking, you don't love me.
Mm-hmm.
You keep saying you love me, but how do I know you really love me? Oh my gosh, that's a bottomless pit. That's a hole in that heart that you'll never be able to fill.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we explain it away. Man, they've been hurt. He's such a giver, and he's had his heart broken. He just needs reassurance. He just needs me to affirm him. Everybody needs that. And there are some people that, yeah, they have been hurt. And so absolutely, you do want to probably go the extra mile, let that person know, I care about you, I'm serious, I'm here, this kind of thing. But to have somebody say that, I want to make you prove your love for me, baby, you'll be proving it from here until somebody who does not believe they are deserving of love, you cannot convince them of that. I don't care what kind of a good salesperson you are. You are not going to convince them of that. Lying about cancer to see my reaction. Good God Almighty, you hear that? That's in the chat. Some of the dude lied about cancer to see her reaction, to see does she care enough. Are you going to leave me or would you stay? Testing you, creating situations to see that, but that even the verbal, just you don't really love me, do you? How could you love somebody like me? Red flag, better run, better run, better run, better run.
If you love me, you would blank, blank, blank.
Yep. That's what I say, trying to prove it. How about paranoia?
Yeah.
Paranoia. Let them tell every time they turn around. Did you say something? Did you do that just to spite me? Did you do that just to hurt me? Are you serious? Did I see? Why is somebody keep calling on your phone? My phone isn't ringing.
Mm-hmm.
I notice every Tuesday you late to do this. Huh? Baby, what are you talking about? We haven't even done anything on Tuesday. You're like, woo. You dressing different. Who you dressing up for? Huh? Oh my gosh. I had one. It was okay. So here's the paranoia. You left, thank God. Lewis, stay tuned for this one. And this one is not in the book. This is in book number 3. But look, I'm glad you left too, Liz. That's why she's still here. So watch this was the worst one. So we oh God, where do I even start? And I'm out of Sangria. I don't even know if I can get through this story. But look, so similar to your phone, what did you say he did? He changed your phone.
He cloned my
phone. Okay. So this one was stalking me on social media. Okay. So he had a problem with people liking my pictures or hearting my pictures. And every time somebody hearted my picture, he wanted to know who they were. I was like, I had that before. This one was out of hand. So, who is that? Oh, that's a friend of mine. Did you ever date him? No, we never dated. Oh, that's a Facebook friend. Well, how do you know him? A group we had on Facebook. What group is that? Okay. Oh, who was that? Oh, that's a friend of mine from high school. Did you date him? We went out a couple times. So now, of course, that's a radar. Well, you need to defriend him. Huh? You're in a relationship with me now. You can't be friends with exes. He's not even an ex. Like I said, we went out a couple of times. Right. Well, if he don't mean nothing to you, why you won't defriend him? Are you for real? He was dead serious. So it's a long distance relationship. So I said, okay, all right. That's what he needs to realize. He doesn't really know character of the woman I am. This is how I'm negotiating this, right? Let me go ahead. So of course, you know what happened. It didn't end. So you defriend that person. Every time I turn around, somebody else I needed to defriend. Oh, yeah. Then he wanted the pages linked in a relationship with. So then he would unlink it and accuse me of it. Take a screenshot. Look. So you just don't want nobody to know you with me, huh? I haven't even been on Facebook. I taught 3 classes today. Yeah, sure. I know you know Facebook real good. You got all these groups and different things that you do. You know how to work Facebook better than most people. That's fine then. Just take the relationship status down, period.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything. Well, then fix it now. Nuts. Do you hear me? Completely nuts. So to make the long story short, no, the first thing that came out was people kept asking me, did I know this guy? This guy was sending friend requests, and then as soon as they would accept the friend request, he would ask them, do you know if Kim is single? And they're like, no, she's in a relationship, or she's got a guy, I think he lives in New York. Oh, okay, thank you. And then most people who really knew me were like, somebody's asking me about you. How do you know this guy? And I was like, I don't know this guy. He had made a fake profile. Took my picture, one of my pictures, put it on a Facebook friend's page and said that he had met me and he was the woman of my dream. I was the woman of his dreams, and I was the kind of woman that anybody wanted to meet. So then my boyfriend goes, how is this guy told me he met you? See, I knew you've been going around. I said, I don't know this guy. That's somebody who's hacking my pictures or whatever. And it's like, right. I'm like, this is too weird. So by the time I got to the end of it, went to his page, he was following 100 of my friends.
Oh, wow.
All guys. He had joined all of my Facebook groups. So when he was telling me about different things, I see you singing to these guys, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I see you in these music groups. As soon as I go to bed, then you trolling on Facebook. Are you serious right now? And I'm like, how is he knowing this? How is he seeing this? So yeah, I'm coming to find he had joined all of the groups. He was watching everything I was doing, who I was singing to. And that's how he was coming up with these names too, of people he wanted me to defriend. And I was like, that man is 75 years old, lives in Bum Nut, Arkansas. This man, he's been married to the same woman for 62 years. He just got a crush on Dr. Kim. I never met the man, but defriend him. Defriend him. You're not letting him know that you're in a relationship. Look, or somebody will post a Smokey song. Everybody know I love Smokey Robinson. Post a Smokey song. If you're going to sing the first line, you write the first line of the song. I'm going with the second because we know Smokey was a lyricist. This man took it totally to the best. So then when I broke up with him, Lewis, you know what he did? He started sending around pictures. Now, they weren't nude pictures, but they were intimate pictures. Okay? He sent them to a couple of women in my group. And said, she ain't holy like you think she is. This is who she really is. Awful. Awful. So I had to block him on LinkedIn, Twitter, okay, every place. And I called the police on him. I called the police on him too. Because that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. So what I'm saying is, going back to this list, we got a few more, and then we're gonna end up with dating dilemmas another night because we already past time. But he showed me a lot of signs and I ignored them all because I said he's just insecure because of the distance. He's been hurt, blah, blah, blah. No. Well, this is just doing way too much. I know. Insane. Absolutely insane. Then, wait, I didn't tell you the worst part. So he actually became friends and his mother with one of my exes.
That's nuts.
Yep. Because he saw that I had liked one of his pictures. So then he wanted to be able to see all of the exchanges. And that's what he had told his mother. He told her that's why we broke up, because when he came to Chicago, I was still seeing my ex. Not that some women told me after I posted our Valentine's Day pictures, because he had come here and we, celebrated Valentine's Day. And as soon as I posted the pictures, my inbox is going off. And it was 3 women that were telling me that they had been sending him money. He had been sending dick pics while we were out of town, because I had gone to New York for was it New Year's? They said after that, he said that you all had broken up. So I started talking to him again and sending him money. And now I see these pictures, you all together. He's a liar. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. A total nutcase. This is why I'm single today. But anyway, so jealousy, we already talked about putting the fear in your heart, clingy, want to be up under you all the time, manipulative, deceptive, aka lying. All of these are red flags. Yep, he was obsessed with me. Like, and here's the thing. Again, for like 3 or 4 minutes, you're flattered. You're like, oh wow, he don't want me to get away. No, he don't want you to get away. it's okay, might die trying. So these are, again, red flags. Depends on others for a sense of self, needs to be in control. I saw Liz already put that down there. Socially awkward. Let's talk about that. Socially awkward or uncomfortable. Always want to be in the house or certain places, again, where they can be in control. You know, those are your people. I don't really want to be around you. Mm-hmm. Isolation. That's another way to isolate, like we talked about earlier. They only want to go certain places or just stay home. They want to be home. Netflix and chill all the time. Yeah. Red sign. Not just being cheap, not just wanting sex, but also because the fewer people that see how awkward and obsessive I am, the longer it'll take for you to catch on and cut the cord. But people can see it. People in your life can see it so much quicker than you can. And they don't want that. So no, baby, let's just stay home, just me and you. Don't you want to talk to me? How else we gonna get to know each other better? Ooh, okay. No. No. Depending on others for sense of self. So again, that desperate need for affirmation and compliments. Don't I look good? Does this look good on me? Don't you? Well, baby, did you see what I did for you? Did you even see? Constant need for affirmation, compliments. You didn't notice what I did. Thirsty, and insecure. All big signs. Unable to cope with rejection, or I'll say with you saying no. Right. You got one for that one? You can't say no.
Well, it was just basically me telling him the relationship is over. He just couldn't get it. Like this went past him getting married.
Oh my God.
Past him getting married. Me saying, like, I broke up with you years ago. I actually had to I had an encounter with his wife because she got upset because we were all in the same place at a party and he was flirting with me and I dismissed myself from the situation and she looked at me and cut her eyes.
Why do we do that?
I'm like, man,
do that? Address him.
Exactly. Because he's the weirdo. Like, I ain't got nothing to say to him.
Women will do that. Oh my God, I've never understood it. Oh my gosh. What about the sense of entitlement? Like, you owe me, or you own me. Both of those. Both. So you owe me. That was a big one in a couple of my relationships, right? So you wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me. Didn't I get you this? Do you know how many women wish they had a man like me? Red flag. I wish I had one. I'm gonna buy me a red flag. So next time I talk about something like this, I could just wave it back and forth. It was like, are you serious? Or the ownership. You my woman. You my lady. So I should be able to say, do, go, come, give, not give, because you belong to me. Are you kidding me? Red flags. Run if you see or hear any of this. And then the last one, not able to take responsibility for their actions. They will blame you, blame their mama, their ancestors, children that haven't been born yet. It's everybody's fault but theirs. Why they do, why they say, why they can't. right? Why they don't like is everybody else's fault. They blame everyone. They will even apologize, give you backward apologies. I'm sorry, but if you hadn't, I'm sorry, but last time I'm sorry, but my mama, I'm sorry, but my ex, I'm sorry, but my boys, I'm sorry. Always followed by a but.
But
So they cannot take ownership for their actions, their behavior. I got mad. I blew up. The sister earlier was talking about how this man was beating her. I promise you that part of that conversation was, if you hadn't said what you did, I wouldn't have snapped like that. Abuse. If some of these other things that you're saying early on, you don't get out, the physical abuse is always gonna follow. Verbal abuse always escalates into physical abuse. I haven't seen it not. If you don't cut it off early enough. If I can intimidate you and I can control and I can isolate you, I'm going to put my hands on you. And as we're seeing in the news, this is women and men. I know men being abused physically.
Yes.
Just as much as women, but men are even more fearful and embarrassed to report it and to leave. Because that makes me look like a wuss.
Exactly.
You're not scaring me. But it first starts with demeaning you and breaking you down. Now I got you where I want you. And I somewhat resent you because I thought maybe you would have got away. You still here? I'm going to do everything I can to push you away and then make you feel guilty for leaving.
For leaving me.
It's a push-pull. That's why you know insanity. You can't deal with logic with insanity. Okay? Yeah. Yep. Just jumping in to say, I see you, cuz. Hey. Oh, that's probably one of your cousins, because I don't know that name. I'm over there. Hey, cuz.
Oh.
Okay. So it doesn't take responsibility. I don't know. It's a username.
Let me see. I logged off when we log back home.
I can't even see. I had to put my glasses on to see. Hold on.
I had logged off after I answered the question.
I know. Loser.
So probably love.
Oh, he was. It was terrible. Oh,
Zaza Zoom 7. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, what? Well, love you, whoever it is.
I think that's maybe your cousin.
It's one of our cousins.
One of our cousins.
Love you. So be careful. Be careful out here. And that's what I was saying before I started looking in the chat. It's so many cases in the news, women and men who are killing exes.
Yes.
The stalking terms, and in a couple of the cases, I don't want to mislead, but in a couple of cases, people were still trying to be friendly. They were still trying to be cordial in the breakup. It's like, I don't hate you, and they appear to live in proximity to one another. So it's like, we're gonna see each other. I'm not trying to be that. And the person could not face, oh, hey cuz, hey Renita. It was my cousin. I love you too. Thank you for the support. And so the person could not take it. I think this last one, the girl won the lottery. And so I guess she was living the life like we heard this woman say earlier that we were supposed to live. And you ain't gonna enjoy that money with nobody else but me. And killed that girl. She won, I think, 150.
Wow.
I want to say million. I don't know. I have to look for it, but yeah, took her out. Yes, many are being abused too. I had a neighbor many years ago who would beat up on her husband. Yep, telling these women be out here rogue. One night he knocked on her door. After they argued, his head was bleeding and she took him to the ER. That was a neighborly thing to do. Yes, men are being abused too. So again, when you see me talk about things on this show, I'm never man bashing. I tell the truth. And every topic that I've discussed on here is represented by men in the population as well as women. I didn't bring statistics on tonight. Usually I try to look at the prevalence of this topic, and try to deal with some numbers, and I did not. So I may include that next week when we come back with dating dilemmas and talk about just how many people have been stalked and how many people have been a stalker and how that manifests. But if you only hear one thing tonight, that is, if you see any of these red flags, manipulation, isolation, demeaning, paranoia, beginning of stalking, showing up places they weren't invited to or that you weren't expecting to see them, a lot of surprises that put you on edge, trust your gut. I did a post about that yesterday. It was like, in religion, we call it the spirit. On the street, we call it the vibe. But whatever it is your inner voice. You better trust it, because it could mean your life. Stalking is not flattering. It can be fatal. So I hope that's your takeaway tonight. As always, I issue the invitation. If you want to talk about your issues, I am your girl. I am Dr. Kim, the relationship renovator. I love talking about relationship stuff. I want to see you get it together and keep it together. So if you ever want to talk to me about things that's on your mind, about your significant other or the significant other who hasn't shown up yet, you can reach out and find me on Facebook under Kimberly A. King. You can also find me and book an appointment on the Complete Suite LLC, also on Facebook, as well as Instagram. And if you are a lady, there's a wonderful group that I lead on Facebook, Love and Life According to Dr. Kim, where we talk about relationship stuff 24/7. So in all those places, you can get support and hear more conversation like this. I definitely want to thank Angela Richards for hanging out with me tonight. Angela, always a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your story. I strongly believe that we save lives by sharing stories. And I appreciate you not cutting it, bringing it straight, no chaser, giving the details, because hopefully we save somebody's life by telling these stories, what a stalker looks like. And even my story, don't go out there looking for trouble, because trouble might find you.
True that.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. Let boo go. There will be another boo. Trust me. And probably even better to you and better for you. Okay. So please like and share this with somebody who may need to hear this. They haven't been listening to you, but maybe they'll take it from two strangers here on a Friday night that's talking about it. We'll see you next week for dating dilemmas. I don't know if you can come back, but if you can, let's try to do it. Talk about some of these dry texting and no follow through. Ooh, God, today. Yeah, we need to talk about all of that. Hey, Auntie. Hey, Auntie, I was hoping that you would come. I was like, where Auntie tonight? She usually is a faithful fan. So we're going to get out of here. But thank you so much. Good night. See you next week. Love you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Kim.
Oh, you know what? I forgot one thing. I didn't say good night to my unicorn angel. Good night.